On this video we are going to start parenting every layer together so we can finally animate it. So first of all I'm going to Window, Workspace and choose Minimal. So I modified this setting so we have the layers on the left and the preview on the right, so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. But once I'm done with this video I'm going to revert it back. This is just so you can see it better. So let's go ahead and begin with this video. We are going to parent everything together. So what is parenting? It's basically linking every element together. So for example, if I take the torso here, only the torso will move. But I want to link everything together, so if I move the torso, everything that's attached to the torso will move too. Another example could be the head. If we move the head, only the head will move, but the hair that's attached to it will remain where it is. And of course we don't want that. So let's begin. I'm going to connect the head to the torso. So as you can see on the right side of our layers panel we have this column called parent, and we have a drop down menu and we can parent it this way by selecting it from here. But there is an easier way. You have this swirl icon. This is called the pick whip, and you can click and drag and a line will appear. So we are going to make that line point to the torso layer. So now we just release it and now the head is parented to the torso. So if I move the torso now, as I did before, you can see that now I'm also moving the head with it. So I'm going to Ctrl Z to undo that. And now let's continue with another thing. I'm going to link the hair to the head. As you can see, I'm using the same method of the pick whip, and I'm also going to parent the bottom portion of the hair to the head. So you can check that if you move the head, all the hair layers are going to move with it, and if I move the torso, everything connected to the torso and the head will move together. So far so good, so let's continue linking all the other elements. So the torso will be linked to this null object that we created, and the skirt or the waist will also be linked to this null object. So in this case the null object is going to help me to have the torso and the waist linked to the same object while also being able to move independently. So for example, if I wanted hair to do a crunch, I wouldn't be able to do so if I linked the hip to the torso. That will be an incorrect way of parenting the parts of the body. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to do it incorrectly on purpose. So as you can see, now that it's parented the wrong way, everything moves together when I move the torso and the character lacks flexibility. So this is why I created this null object. It's an invisible object that holds the entire body together, which is very helpful. So you may notice that when I rotated some elements just before, they looked very odd, but don't worry, we are going to take care of that very soon. But before we do that, let's finish parenting everything together. So for example, the hand will be parented to the arm, same goes for the wristband, and then I'm going to continue with the right arm as well. We're going to parent the sock to the leg and the shoe to the leg as well, or we could even parent it to the sock, it doesn't make a difference. And now we are going to parent both legs to the skirt shape, so the left leg and the right leg will be parented to it. And now the same way as we did with the legs and the skirt, we're going to parent both arms to the torso. So we are going to parent both arms to the torso now. Left arm to the torso and right arm as well. There we go. So since there are so many layers, I think I'm going to rename the arms and the legs and place the name on uppercase letters. So this way I'll be able to see at first glance which element is important and which element is secondary. Of course, this is optional and it's just a personal preference of mine. You can follow it if you like, but it's not mandatory, it's just something that I do. Okay, so now we have finished parenting everything together, and the next step will be to change the axis of the rotation of each element. As you can see, the current axis of rotation of each element is the default one, which is the center of the canvas. So we'll need to change all of these anchor points for each element, because as you can see now, we can't animate it as it is now, it's rotating against the center of the canvas, which is completely wrong. So we are going to take this tool that we have here, which is called Pan Behind or Anchor Point tool. So now that we have this selected, we will be able to move this little axis. So I'll have this head layer selected. So I want to move this to be around here. This should be rotating where the neck is, approximately. So now that I changed the axis, I can take my rotation tool and test it. I'm going to move it a bit, and as you can see, it's moving correctly. Now I'll hit Ctrl Z to undo that test, and our head is now ready. Now let's continue with the torso. I'm going to click and drag the axis to be around here, more or less. And now I'm going to check it by taking the rotation tool and moving it. Okay, so I think it looks quite good. Feel free to change it around and test it several times. There is no right answer or right place where the axis should be, it's all a matter of if it looks good or not. You need to check that the movement looks natural. So, as long as you achieve that, feel free to place it anywhere you like. Now we are going to take care of moving the anchor point for the top portion of the hair. So we are going to click and drag and move it, let's say around here. The axis should be around the center of the headband, approximately, but check it several times and give it a few tries before you settle. As you can see, I'm trying different things as I go, so feel free to do the same. This is a tricky part because it won't be rotating as much, but I want to place it right. And since I'm here, I think I'm going to modify the position of this top portion of the hair by using the black arrow. So now that I've modified the position, I'm going to relocate the axis, and there we go. So I'll hit Ctrl Z to undo the rotation, and let's move to the next one, which is the skirt. So I'm going to take the anchor point around here, and let's test it. Okay, so now we've encountered an issue at this moment, but don't worry, we're going to fix it, which is this gap that you can see when you rotate. So I'm going to create a new shape on Adobe After Effects. I'm going to create a new shape layer, and I'm going to name this new layer back, because it will be like her back. I'm going to move this layer all the way to the back, so it's behind the torso. And now under this new shape layer, I'm going to take the rounded rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a rounded rectangle, which will be around here. Now I'm going to click on the fill, and I'm going to take this little eyedropper icon, and I'm going to click on this pink color and click OK. And now I'm going to parent this back layer to the null object, so it will always follow our character. And since we won't be actively using this layer, we will go ahead and lock it. So as you can see, this has been fixed. Once I rotate this torso or this skirt, the gap is not showing anymore. And now I'm going to expand everything here because I want to undo the rotation that I created before. So I'm going to expand here, and under rotation I'm going to place 0. There we go. So I'm going to collapse this again, and we'll continue setting our anchor points. So now I'll quickly assign the anchor points to the rest of the objects. So I'm not sure if I'm going to actually rotate all of these objects, but it's a good practice to have everything in place, to have all the anchor points where they should be, even if you're not going to use them. But the elements that we are definitely going to move are the arms and the legs. So it's crucial that we get these anchor points right where they need to be. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I'm going to place this just on the top of the line. Okay, so I'm going to move to the other side and going to continue placing anchor points on the hand, on the wristband, and so on. I'm going to continue assigning anchor points to everything. You never know which poses you're going to create afterwards, so it's a good idea to have everything with the anchor point where it needs to be. So this is a tricky one, which is the bottom portion of her hair, so I'll want to try different things and test it before I settle with a final one. So let's see, maybe around here. As you can see, I'm testing it, And okay, I think I'm happy with the result now. So I'm going to move to the next one. So it's not probable at all that we are going to move the sock or rotate the sock individually from the leg, but just for practice we are going to place the anchor point where it needs to be, and of course we are going to place the one for the leg, being very careful to do it right where it needs to be. So around here, okay, there we go. And I'll quickly go over the remaining objects. So you get the idea from this video on how to modify the anchor point for every element, for every layer, and you should always do this before you start animating. So this is all for this video. See you on the next one.